Reaction. Let's turn live now to Senator John McCain. He's at the Capitol this morning. Good morning, Senator.
Good morning, George.
I want to get to that proposal for a spending freeze in a second, but first, Al-Qaeda, the prospects of homegrown terror. We have this foiled bomb plot in New Jersey overnight. No indication yet that that's homegrown terror, but we have seen other incidents, and so many have been connected to this. American citizen in Yemen, Anwar al-Awlaki, the administration now debating whether or not it would be appropriate to take him out. Do you have any qualms about that?
No.
None at all?
No, these people cannot have sanctuary anywhere in the world. I would love to work very closely with the governments of the countries in which they reside, but for us to have some kind of sanctuary for someone who wants to destroy America is just foolishness. But I would also point out again, our ability to find out what the Christmas bombers' connections were totally wiped out when, without consultation of any of our heads of our intelligence agencies, the Justice Department decided to give this guy his Miranda rights. I mean, that one of the worst things that I have seen happen in a long time, particularly when the president finally acknowledged that we're in a war.
So are you unsatisfied now with how the president is prosecuting the war on terror?
Well, I'm certainly not satisfied when you have a person who may have direct ties to Al-Qaeda is given Miranda rights and put on trial in a civilian court when clearly they're an enemy combatant and a terrorist. That sends the wrong signal, certainly around the world.
Let's turn to the domestic issues. White House announcing this morning a spending freeze, 3-year freeze on all non-defense discretionary spending. It's already drawing some criticism from your party, the House Minority Leader's office, John Boehner, saying, given Washington Democrats' unprecedented spending binge, this is like announcing you're going on a diet after winning a pie-eating contest. But isn't this exactly what Republicans have been calling for? You called for this in the campaign.
Yes, and we need to do it. And I think it's important, and I'll support it. But the president's going to have to also promise to veto bills that are laden with pork barrel spending, and it's going to save a good amount of money over time, but about $15 billion last year. Meanwhile, this year, the Senate and the House are looking at $100 billion or more of new spending just on, quote, stimulus, on more money, sending bad money after good, in an effort to stimulate the economy. So I think it has to be put in that context. But the president has to commit to vetoing any of these appropriations bills that have earmarks or pork barrel spending on. That means taking on Democrats and Republicans.
From what you just said, it sounds like you're against the new bill the Senate Democrats are proposing that Jake Tapper just talked about $90 billion for job creation. If you're against that, what job creation proposals are you for?
Tax cuts, payroll tax cuts, for giving more tax incentives and breaks to small businesses, making sure that we do not raise taxes, which may happen if the present tax cuts lapse. There's a lot of things that we can do to ensure, including, by the way, a path to some kind of fiscal sanity.
But those tax cuts are going to increase the deficit, aren't they, sir?
No, if you cut people's taxes, I think then it stimulates the economy. We certainly found that out during President Reagan.
Let's turn to Ben Bernanke, the Fed chairman. You voted for the financial rescue that he endorsed last year, but you're now against his reappointment. A lot of administration officials, market experts say that is going to create absolute turmoil in the markets if he is not reappointed. Are you willing to take that risk?
Yes, because I believe that he was the captain of the ship when it hit the iceberg. He was there at the casino when all the gambling was going on, and they didn't do anything about it. And when Paul Volcker and Ronald Reagan were around, they cut taxes and they restrained the role of the Fed, and now we have the largest amount of liquidity from the Fed in the market today than any time in history.
Can you defeat him?
I don't know. I just vote for myself.
Finally, sir, the Senate Democratic leader, Harry Reid, had some tough words for you in Sunday's New York Times. He said, my disappointment, no, that's the wrong word. I'll try to find a better word. My amazement has been John McCain. I thought he'd turn out to be a statesman, work for things. He is against everything. He is against everything. Your response?
Well, Harry Reid attacked me and my temperament and attacked my character during the campaign. That's rather typical of Senator Reid. He's the one that declared the war in Iraq lost and also accused me and other Republicans of being like those who oppose the abolition of slavery. That sort of is modus operandi these days. But so I'm proud of my record in service to the country.
Senator McCain, thanks for your time this morning.
Thank you.